Disturbing charges come down against a local man.
He's obviously, in my words, a predator.
What authorities say he admitted to when he was arrested and accused of having child porn.
A driver's close call.
He's a very lucky person.
The questions police are still trying to answer after a hunting arrow crashed through a man's front windshield.
And developing overseas, an attempted attack in Paris. What investigators say a man with a hammer yelled just before lunging at police officers at a tourist attraction. We start tonight with a CBS 6 weather alert with team coverage watching all types of wintry weather falling across our area right now.
Tori Wells is live in Glens Falls and meteorologist Craig Gold is tracking the road conditions.
We start though with Chief Meteorologist Steve LaPointe with what kind of precipitation is falling and where. Steve?
We begin with breaking news right now from Manchester, England. Prime Minister Theresa May announcing just moments ago the country is raising its terror threat level.
Yeah, it's going from severe to critical because May says another attack may be imminent.
And we begin tonight with breaking news. No criminal charges being recommended against the Schenectady mayor.
Well, this stems from a 911 call back in May. A woman claimed that Mayor Gary McCarthy was following her in his car. You can see new dash cam video just released in the last 2 hours. Developing right now in Schenectady, a call for a domestic dispute ends up with shots being fired. This happened at a home on Mumford Street where police were on the scene for hours today. Lindsay DeLucia has been tracking the story all day long for us. She joins us live from the corner of Mumford and Strong Streets right now. Lindsay.
Well, this is it. After years of waiting, the brand new Rivers Casino is open for business in Schenectady. CBS 6 has team coverage of this historic event with Heather Kovar and Emily Denman. But we start with my colleague, Cody Holyoke, anchoring our live coverage tonight inside the casino. Cody, it's been a huge day. We've got team coverage tonight after former FBI Director James Comey testified about his conversations with President Trump regarding the Russia investigation.
Liz Bishop is in our breaking news center with our team coverage tracking how local lawmakers are reacting. First, though, we go to Nola Lenghey, who's live in Washington. Nola? Here at home, lawmakers from both parties and in both houses of Congress are reacting to what the former FBI director said on the Hill today. Liz Bishop is in our breaking news center with what we've heard from your representative so far. Liz?
Developing in Paris now, we're learning more about what happened when a man with a hammer attacked police officers at the Notre Dame Cathedral. Liz Bishop tracking the newest developments for us right now in the studio. Liz?
And the French Interior Minister is saying that the man yelled out, "It's for Syria," before attacking officers with a hammer. This all unfolded in the early afternoon in Paris. Police were patrolling the cathedral when hundreds of people were rushed inside to safety. Officers opened fire on the attacker, injuring him, but he did survive. French police later tweeted that one officer was hurt. Authorities say they found kitchen knives, a hammer, and other weapons on him shortly after the attack. Two American tourists who were in the cathedral described the horrifying experience.
You didn't know what was happening. Like people were just like we were at the front and people come running towards us, and so you had to keep running, but we didn't know if it was a gunshot, what the cause of it was.
Prosecutors in Paris have opened a counterterrorism investigation but have not said definitively that this was terror related. But it is the fourth alleged terror incident to have happened at a high-profile location in Paris. The prior ones were at the Louvre, the Champs-Élysées, and Orly Airport. France has been under a state of emergency since more than 100 people died in a series of attacks in Paris back in November of 2015. The French government is planning to ask Parliament to keep that state of emergency going until November 1st. Anne?
Scam alert, the well-known company name hackers are using to fool you into thinking you've won big.
And cutting college costs. How many people have applied so far for the state's free tuition plan and what you need to know if you're going to do that? That's at 5:30.
Staying safe behind the wheel, what senior drivers can do to keep their freedom without putting themselves in any danger.
And unanswered questions, the concerns neighbors have after a local man was shot. Whole thing streamed live on Facebook, and how police are responding. That's new at 5:30.
And new at 6 tonight, concerns about a life-saving drug. Why some people are questioning how effective the drug meant to reverse opioid overdoses actually is.
CBS 6 News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening, I'm Ann McCloy.
And I'm Cody Holyoke. Right now, a Rotterdam woman is facing charges in what the Albany County Sheriff calls an absolutely disgusting case of animal cruelty.
The sheriff tells us deputies found a dead dog and a dead cat inside a home on Jones Avenue in New Scotland. And we're told the property is a foreclosure, and it was the bank that called the sheriff's office.
Here's what we know. Authorities say they went to the home today when they got that call, and this is what they found. Just squalor there in the house. They sent us other pictures from inside that home, too, but they're too disturbing, so we're not going to show you those tonight.
We're told Alice Botten is the previous property owner. Investigators say she told them the animals have been dead since the fall and that she lived in the home with them until she left in March.
She's charged with failing to provide sustenance and due in New Scotland court today.
We're following breaking news right now out of Lake George. The DEC says it's delaying the opening of Million Dollar Beach because test results show the water has high levels of E. coli. The announcement comes just days before a possible heat wave in our area. Million Dollar Beach was shut down for weeks last year for the same issue. The department says it took new water samples today and will have those results tomorrow. It will take new samples tomorrow if necessary. Now, the DEC says it will open the beach as soon as the levels of E. coli are safe. New at 5 tonight, we've learned opening statements will start Monday in the new trial for a man accused of killing his family and setting their home on fire. The new jury was seated today to hear the case against Matthew Slocum. Prosecutors say he killed his mom, stepdad, and stepbrother in July of 2011. He was previously found guilty, but the conviction was thrown out because the state Supreme Court found police shouldn't have questioned Slocum because he'd asked to have an attorney present. Also new at 5 tonight, authorities in Columbia County looking into what caused this crash in Germantown. The sheriff tells us a 73-year-old pulled his car onto Hover Avenue from Dales Bridge Road when it was hit by another car. The 73-year-old was trapped inside, and we're told firefighters had to take him out. He was rushed to Albany Med with pain in his side. The other driver suffered minor cuts.
Happening tonight, family, friends, and neighbors of a missing 16-year-old girl are gathering for a prayer vigil in Albany. Deborah Trout of Bethlehem has been missing for some 10 days now. Police tell us she went home from school back on May 30th and may have left to see friends in Schenectady. We're told she was wearing a black zippered sweatshirt with the word pink on the front at the time. Investigators say they think that she has a network of people helping her who they add may not be telling authorities the entire truth. So if you have any information that can help bring Deborah home, pick up the phone and call Bethlehem Police.
Well, here it is. The weekend is finally here. It's shaping up to be a nice one as we take a live look over Lake George right now using our Freihofer Skycam. Meteorologist Craig Adams is in now with when some spotty showers could be popping up. Craig.
President Trump calls Comey out. Less than 2 hours ago, in fact, the president spoke at the White House responding to the former FBI director's testimony on Capitol Hill we all saw here on CBS 6. Well, the president answered questions from reporters at a news conference with the Romanian president. This all took place at the Rose Garden. Trump accused former Director Comey of lying under oath and said he'd be willing to testify under oath to give his side of the story.
James Comey confirmed a lot of what I said. And some of the things that he said just weren't true.
Comey testified yesterday he gave notes about his conversations with President Trump to a friend to give to a reporter. Comey says he documented meetings with the president because he thought the president may lie about them. Trump's personal attorney is planning to file a complaint with the Department of Justice and even the Senate Intelligence Committee about Comey passing on that information. Back at home, the widow of a Queensbury man is hoping for closure tonight, more than a year after deputies say she was swindled out of thousands of dollars. The break in the case came Thursday when Patrick Birch turned himself in after months on the run. But this story's far from over. Now, because Bruce Sherman was dealing with brain cancer at the time, deputies say Patrick Birch's grand larceny charge will be classified as a hate crime. Right now, Birch is in jail on a warrant in a neighboring county, and I'm told more charges are likely coming.
The countdown is on. In just 20 days, you'll be sharing the roads with ride-sharing cars. Uber wrapped up a recruitment event just an hour ago in our area. People interested in signing up to drive for the company came out to the Courtyard Marriott in Clifton Park. A couple dozen prospective drivers showed up, and we spoke to two of them who told us why they want to drive for Uber.
I think the flexibility of the schedule, you can work when you want to. I'm saying I don't want to work every day. being retired, I can play golf when I want, I can go work if I want, or next day if it's raining.
I think that it's all done online now. It's all done on the internet. So, you get to see who the people you're picking up, they get to see who their driver is, and you're using your own vehicle.
Ride sharing will begin across upstate New York on the 29th of this month. That's 10 days earlier than originally planned. The governor signed a bill earlier this week to push the starting date up to keep roads safer during the 4th of July holiday.
A visual reminder to all drivers to slow down and move over rolled into Colony Center today. This casket you see here in front of Sears is making its way across the country, part of a campaign meant to send a message to people about what can happen if they don't move over for first responders or tow truck operators working on our roads.
The casket that's behind me is symbolized in red, white, and blue. The red standing for loss of life. The blue is for the spirit of the families that lost a life, and the white is for the soul.
That's Tom Brennan who just spoke. He's the president of Empire Towing and Recovery Association. He says they've really been pushing awareness about the move over law because they lost several lives last year.
Authorities in New Jersey say several elementary school students are recovering right now after two school buses crashed on a highway. Police say 90 kids were on board the buses headed to Museum Village in Monroe, New York, when the crash happened. A witness told reporters one of the drivers hit the brakes and was rear-ended by the bus behind it. Police say none of the students were admitted to the hospital. They did suffer bumps and bruises.
Monday marks a very solemn anniversary, a year since the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history. 49 people were killed in a terror attack at Pulse nightclub in Orlando last June. Now, at that spot, a memorial stands. Orlando has a day of tributes planned, including a ceremony of remembrance outside the club. One survivor said really every day has been a battle since the shooting, just remembering the horror that he witnessed inside that club. Other survivors and families of the victims say they will get through this by being together.
Summer camp caution. What to do if your kid comes home from camp with head lice.
And a new use for social media, how police in our area say it's changing the way they can crack a certain type of case. That's at 5:30.
And coming up tonight, new at 6, Little Library's big mission, why one woman brought the nationwide movement to Saratoga County, and how many books you'll have access to.